Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, a winter weather advisory is ending for most of us as we speak. Now, this wasn't a huge snowfall, but it was enough to cause some slick roads and cause some traffic troubles. Here's a quick look at some of the snow from earlier today. On the far right, that's a live look outside from one of our tower cams. This afternoon, the snow may taper off, but the cold is not going anywhere. Ben Bailey joins us now with the very latest. Where do things stand?
Well, Karen, you're right. Anything that causes us to get the shovel out of the garage is a decent snowfall around here. And we still have flakes going, at least in the northern section of the area. And this could still add to some accumulations, maybe another ½ inch to an inch on top of what we've already got. But if you're not seeing snow right now, chances are you're probably not going to see it as we go forward. There's still some activity on the west side of the state, but you can see that that's thinning out pretty quickly. So the stuff that's over the top of us is really our only concern, and it's going to start wrapping up here by 7, 8 o'clock tonight. So winter weather advisories have been extended for Lapeer, Sanilac, and St. Clair counties. This is where the snow will hold on to the longest, and that should be until, I think, 11 p.m. tonight. So it may hold on at least close to the lake a little bit longer in some of those areas. The rest of us are going to see a dry evening again past 8 o'clock tonight. Temperatures down to 27 by midnight tonight. And that is just getting started. In fact, that's warmer than a lot of the high temperatures that we have in the coming forecast. So we'll look at a much colder 7 days at our next snowmaker, which is already in sight in a few minutes. Karen?
Well, the Wixom man who's facing charges connected to the siege at the U.S. Capitol is being transferred out of Michigan as his case continues. Michael Foy remains in custody at this hour. Federal investigators say they identified him through photos and videos from the January 6th attack. He's accused of striking a Capitol officer with a hockey stick. The defendant and the legal proceedings are being moved to federal custody in Washington, D.C. In this Local 4 update, we're learning more about a deadly home invasion over in Harrison Township. This was breaking news just 24 hours ago. Now, the Macomb County Sheriff's Office say the intruder once dated a young woman who lives in the Harrison Woods Lane condo complex. Investigators say that woman told them 26-year-old Brandon Williams of Redford was trying to break down her door yesterday just after 12:30 in the afternoon. She was inside with another man who has a license to carry. That man, according to police, shot Williams after he broke in. Both people inside the home have been interviewed and released as the investigation continues. All right, we have this just into the newsroom. The Biden administration says it will boost states' vaccine allocation for the next week by about 17%. Meantime, the Michigan legislature is a step closer to considering Governor Whitmer's COVID recovery plan. We just got word State Senator Curtis Hertel Jr. of East Lansing introduced Senate Bill 52 to implement the governor's plan designed to boost the economy. It includes expanding food, rental, and property tax assistance to those financially affected by COVID-19. The governor will have to negotiate with a Republican-controlled legislature to get anything passed. Today, the state is reporting nearly 1,500 new cases of the virus in the past 24 hours, along with 79 additional deaths, bringing the total to more than 14,400. And frustration is mounting as people who want the COVID vaccine just can't find it. Paula Tutman talked to a local woman who basically wrote the book on how seniors in Oakland County can navigate finding services, but even she hasn't reached her destination this time. And Paula, we're hearing from so many people who are just frustrated with this process.
Absolutely. Uneven, I think, is the word that we're hearing. Actually, that's the nice word we're hearing, because a lot of people just find this absolutely excruciating as they try to navigate finding a shot for the people who are actually eligible for the shot right now. The hands of Mary Miller have touched the lives of thousands upon thousands of Oakland County senior citizens. As the founding director of OPC, the Older Persons Commission, her life's work has been helping anyone more than 50 years old navigate all life throws at them.
Mom has so much purpose and joy to give the rest of us, and we don't want to lose her.
But now, as her hands clutch her walker for her 3 times a week visit to dialysis, she has finally met her match. She cannot navigate getting a COVID-19 vaccine.
I have friends in Florida that aren't even sick. They're either of the age, but they've already got their vaccines.
Her daughter Kim has taken on an additional full-time job.
Hey, I saw that several people were getting vaccinated at the fire department here in Rochester, and I'm trying to get Mom on a list. I can't get her on a list.
Trying to get her mother scheduled to get the vaccine before it's too late. And worry is starting to turn to desperation.
She's on several lists, but still no word back. Well, when I go on the website, it just lets me, it says not to call, that they have no okay, 3 weeks.
And that dialysis, they don't know either. Some of the gals haven't even had the shot that hooks you up to dialysis.
Mary was actually very sick last year and in a care facility. The irony is, against all odds, she rallied and got back to her home. But because she is no longer in residential treatment, she no longer has a direct pipeline to get vaccinated.
One guy up in the Upper Peninsula, he's just a young kid going in to visit his mother in the nursing home. They gave him the shot. And I don't know why we're not getting it down here. It doesn't make sense to me at all.
And I'm willing to wait because I know that, I mean, it's not my time yet. And I want everyone that really needs this vaccine, that is compromised, to get it first.
It's like, what can you do? You can't do anything, and you keep calling and calling, and nobody even tells you when it's possible.
Yeah, you know, and this is somebody who is expert in navigating these kinds of systems. Well, now the expert needs some expert advice, and you can imagine if she can't figure it out, how much trouble everyone else is having. However, for every sigh of relief, or rather sigh of frustration, there are some sighs of relief. Coming up at 5, I'm going to take you to a nursing home. 99%, Karen, 99% of the residents have just gotten their second vaccine.
Wow.
And they are ecstatic. So I'll see you back at 5.
Oh, we'll look forward to that good news report. All right. Thank you, Paula. Well, Detroit's mayor, Mike Duggan, is starting to face a more crowded field in his bid for re-election. Today, former deputy mayor Anthony Adams kicked off his campaign during a Facebook streaming event. Adams worked in City Hall during the Kwame Kilpatrick administration. He says there's a need for change and more transparency at Detroit's City Hall. Make sure to stay with Local 4 for more coverage of the race and the candidates in the coming weeks and months. Election Day is November 2nd. The pandemic isn't the only thing President Biden is taking aim at during his first full week in office. Today, Biden signed several executive actions aimed at racial equity. Kimberly Gill in the newsroom. And Kim, today's actions address one of the president's key campaign promises.
Karen, you're right, and good afternoon to you. President Biden said racial equity would be one of his first priorities when he took over office. The president hopes the 4 executive actions are the first step to create a more equitable society. President Biden ordered the Justice Department not to renew contracts with private prisons. Biden is also directing the Department of Housing and Urban Development to take steps necessary to promote fair housing. The new orders will also recommit the federal government to respect sovereignty and consultation of tribal governments and combat discrimination against the Asian American and Pacific Islander community in light of the coronavirus pandemic. President Biden says the time to act is now.
So we must change, and I know it's going to take time, but I know we can do it. And I firmly believe the nation is ready to change, but government has to change as well. We need to make equity and justice part of what we do every day, today, tomorrow, and every day. Now, I'm going to sign these executive actions to continue the work to make real the promise of America for every American.
On his first day in office, President Biden also signed an order directing every federal agency to review its state of racial equity and deliver an action plan within 200 days to address any disparities in policies and programs. We'll have more coming up on the news tonight at 5 and 6. Karen, until then, we'll send it back to you.
All right. Always appreciated. Thank you, Kim.
Sure.
The United States Senate just finished its first skirmish over a new impeachment trial for former President Donald Trump. The process started with each senator signing an oath book to serve as jurors during the trial. You can see Michigan's Debbie Stabenow coming up to the table right there. Now, Trump faces a single charge for incitement of insurrection, accused of rallying the crowd that attacked the U.S. Capitol on January 6th. Senator Rand Paul argued it's unconstitutional to hold a trial since the president has left office. That measure failed by a vote of 55 to 45. Now, if this vote is an indication of how the trial will go, the Democrats are far short of the votes they need to convict. The actual trial is set to begin on February 9th. Still head first at 4. Millions of Americans are being told to be very careful when they use their new iPhones. We're going to talk about that warning from Apple. Also, a deadly tornado. New video shows the damage left behind. And we've learned how a teenager lost his life during the storm. First, an international role reversal. Why Russia is accusing the United States of spreading fake news. We've got news from around the world next.
A new strain of the coronavirus is here, but the good news is the vaccine is here too. Tomorrow morning at 6:30, Dr. McGeorge is here to answer your questions. Watch Local 4 News today.